Okay, so this video is going to show you how to use the photo backdrop that we have in the classroom. So it should always be back here on this part of the room. There is typically a tote inside of it. Inside of the tote you can find the lights that we're going to use, and you can also find some different color options for backdrops, okay? When you are all the way done, you want to make sure that you put everything back in here, including the lights and the backdrop you used, and then put this inside of the photo station, okay? So rule number one with the photo station is you have to have clean hands. Make sure you don't have paint or clay or anything on them, because we want to keep, especially the sides of these, as clean as we can. So the way that we're going to set it up, I have it sitting here on the table. It does get pretty close to the edge, so just be careful that it doesn't run off. And then once you select your color of backdrop, I'm going to use black here. Just go ahead and unroll it. And you're going to see that one side of the backdrop is soft. It's probably hard to see in the video, but you'll be able to feel it. And one side is shiny. We always want soft side up. That kind of dampens the light. And then there's one edge that has a strip of Velcro on it. You have to kind of awkwardly go in here and attach the strip of Velcro to the Velcro that is on top. It's on the back of the black surface. So we're gonna attach that on there. Again, I'm going soft side up, and then I wanna make sure that I have a nice drape in the side. I don't wanna see any creases or any wrinkles. We want it to be nice and draped like that, okay? Once you have that taken care of, then you can pick out your lighting. And I usually go for 2 or 3 different lights. There should be a power strip back here for you to plug the lights in, but you'll have to plug them up and then wrap them, or plug them in and then wrap them up, put them away when you're done. They all have a little light switch on the front. There are, and you'll notice if you look in the tote, there are some different light filters that you can put on here. This is just a clear filter. That's usually what I leave on, but you can play around with different filters if you'd like. So once you have your lighting figured out, how many you need, you're gonna put your object that you're photographing inside. I usually put it towards the back if I can. And then the way that I set up the lighting, and again, it sort of just depends, and it will vary depending on your piece. If you're photographing clay pieces that are shiny, I typically like to point the light downwards, so right in front of it. So it will still cast light onto your piece, but if you put the light directly on it like that, you're gonna get some glare, and you might not necessarily want that, okay? If you are gonna set up a third light, sometimes it's helpful to have someone with you. Maybe you want a light from up top, or you just want an additional light down here, okay? I think this one is gonna be good with 2, so I'm gonna leave it like this. Put one light on the left and one on the right. Okay, there we go. And then when you photograph, if you are using one of the classroom iPads, reminder that the passcode for all of the iPads is just 0000. You can get into them all pretty simple. And then once I pull up my camera, you have to get kind of up close and personal to your piece. So this should be fine for mine, but if you look at this right now, I don't know how to get rid of that. If I take a look at this, see how bright it is right there? That's something that I don't want. So I might tap on that, and then if I look at this as a whole, it's pretty dark. So what might help me is if I would have someone here, I would maybe have them kind of hold a light like that, okay? So maybe to help myself out a little bit, I might raise this light. Again, I'm gonna kind of angle it away because I don't want there to be glare. A little bit of glare is kind of inevitable, but a ton of glare is just too much, okay? And then when I take my picture, I wanna make sure that I'm in focus, and I can take it really nicely like that. I would not want a photo that looks like this, where you can see all of that and you can see the white of the backdrop. We want to get in as tight as we can so there isn't that backdrop. I might brighten that up a little bit. There we go. And on mine there is a tiny bit of a glare, and you kind of can't get rid of that. Okay, so something like that. And then when you're all the way done, again, we're gonna take this all apart unless someone else in class needs it. I'm gonna put these away, and really importantly, I'm gonna wrap up this backdrop and put this away so that it stays nice and clean for the next person that needs to use it.